Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try that again. Steve Collins coming to you from San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Got a new name. Maybe that's why I need to put it in there. Pride. Got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. How do you check yourself before you wreck yourself? Well, step number one is understanding that there are principles that talk about pride. It's one of the 7 deadlies. Some of those principles sound like this. Pride comes before a fall. What comes before a fall? Pride comes before a fall. There's another one, a principle. It's a guiding principle that says this: whoever humbles himself will be exalted, and whoever exalts himself will be humbled. So what does that tell us about pride? What can we learn in this ancient script to give us an advantage so that we have the ability to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves? Anytime you start believing or thinking or feeling like you all that and a bag of chips, this is a good indicator that you may have pride. If you start thinking more about your ability and your success and your gifting more than the one who created you and gave you that stuff, you might find yourself in pride. And there are various forms of pride. One of them that people don't talk about is spiritual pride. Spiritual pride is when someone is living a set of rules they have set for themselves, which is okay, by the way. Anybody can live according to their own standards. Some people set higher spiritual standards than others, and that's fantastic. I mean, they even addressed it in the New Testament. He's like, hey, this guy feels good eating meat because he eats it to honor the Lord, and it freaks you out. Don't give him a hard time because eating meat for him is okay if it's not okay for you. When there's areas of subjective options, one who does something above and beyond another can look down on another person for not doing those things and have spiritual pride. So pride, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Recognize the indicators that can come up that cause pride. The number one way a married man or woman can determine this is by listening to your spouse. Your spouse will tell you if you're being arrogant. Friends, good friends, can tell you if you're being arrogant. Great friends can tell you if you're being arrogant. Pride comes before a fall. It is a principle, which is why I say be really, 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 really careful, y'all. Pride comes before a fall. And I have never fallen anywhere and it felt good. Falling hurts, man. And when you have a fall from pride, it hurts real bad because it's typically not a physical fall. Some people have fallen in irrecoverable ways. The price is very high, which is why it's called one of the 7 deadlies. Pride will bring you low. How can you inoculate yourself from pride? I'm really glad you asked. It's called gratitude. Acknowledging your Creator. Acknowledging those individuals who have come around you in your life. I have so many people in my life that I am so grateful for, who have given me the ability to do things that I do and created opportunities for me to do the things that I do. And God has connected those relationships, and I never forget these people. I honor these people on a very regular basis. Stay in communication, stay in touch, because like my friend Manny Diaz says, there's no such thing as a self-made man or self-made woman. You're an others-made man and others-made woman because it takes others, whether it was others who wrote books or others who created content or others who spoke into your life. When you're in a spirit of gratitude, then that is a good indicator that you're not going to fall into pride. also when you acknowledge that you still got a long way to go. When you can say, hey man, someone at the top of their game, that says, man, I got to tell you, I got a long way to go, man. I still got a lot to learn. I'm still excited to learn. I'm still excited to grow. I'm still excited at the opportunities that I have, to attend seminars, to attend events, to continue to learn. If someone is learning based, they can usually avoid pride. Pride, one of the 7 deadlies, y'all. Pride comes before a fall. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled. Whoever humbles himself will be exalted. There's a principle there, and we can't get away from it. Did you know that God gives grace to the humble? You know what he says? God opposes the proud and gives grace to the humble. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know a whole lot about God, but what I do know is this. He is pretty amazing, and I do not want him to oppose me. No, I don't even want an angry chihuahua to oppose me. Them little rascals are crazy. But God opposes the proud and gives grace to the humble. I want grace. I don't want to be opposed by the Lord. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is your evening video, putting my dipstick into the oil tank of your mind to see where that pride level is. Now let's talk about humility for one split second before we wrap up. It has been said, humility is not thinking less of yourself, like, oh, I'm humble. Humility is just thinking of yourself less. Humility comes when you have an attitude to take the amazing gifts and talents you have been given, and you begin to creatively think of ways to utilize them in service to other people. When you are serving other people, it's hard to be in pride. When you are serving other people and being grateful, it's hard to be in pride. When you are serving other people, walking in gratitude and recognizing that you have not yet arrived, it's hard to get into pride. So check yourself before you wreck yourself, because the principles around pride and humility are very, very real. My charge to you, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because pride comes before a fall, and there's no fun fall. And God opposes the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. You don't want God to oppose you, man. And he who exalts himself will be humbled. Whoever humbles himself will be exalted. There's your principle. If you're looking for recognition, ladies and gentlemen, just do the right thing at the right time, for the right reasons, with the right people. And most importantly, acknowledge your Creator who gave you the ability to do these amazing things in the first place. A Ferrari doesn't drive down the street and say, I'm such a great Ferrari, I'm so amazing, it's so wonderful, I just drive really fast and I look real sexy. No, they don't do that. Somebody made that Ferrari, and that's how it can roll the way that it rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't fall into pride, because pride comes before a fall. Have a good evening, guys.